Su questo episodio di Hannibal and I prepareremo piatti classici italiani come il Carpaccio, pappardelle sulle lepre e concluderemo la serata con un dolce dannatamente fantastico, sanguinaccio dolce. E per rendere la serata ancora più speciale, la condividerò con due dei miei più cari amici. Quindi ti fiori, il Chianti e la sfogliatrice, perché qui su Hannibal and I diventeremo italiani. That's fake. Welcome back to Hannibal and I, the only cooking show that has you going and in the very same episode. Yes, it has been nearly 3 years since our last episode. Shortly after my dinner party, I got a new job, which has been taking up most of my time. But since then, I actually got to have a photo op at C2E2 in 2024 with the doctor himself, Mads Mikkelsen. Had him sign my book and everything, which is really coming apart. But I kind of like it. Lived in. Like a horse that just had a social worker crawl out of it. If you know, you know. Even made him and Hugh Dancy matching aprons with their initials on the pockets. I'd like to think they wear them and cook together. I mean, I don't think about it that often. But I am determined to finish this project one way or another. I mean, there's really just the one way. Finish it. So I will hopefully be bringing you many new and delicious episodes of your favorite cannibal-themed cooking show this year and get us ever closer to cooking our way through this book. But it do be expensive. So if you enjoy this series and would like to see more of it, you can support Hannibal and I, and if you'd like to know how, you can find out with my Zelle link in the description below. With all that out of the way, let's dive right into our episode. Ah, Italia. The masterful art, the exquisite architecture, the food like no other, the political executions, the beautiful cathedrals and palazzos, the psychological manipulation, the whatever that is. Did I mention the food? Yes, in his short time in Italy, Hannibal manages to get up to quite a few shenanigans, ranging from kidnapping his therapist. I mean, I think. She has the gun here and just decides to go, so, I mean, I wouldn't shoot him either. All the way to giving Will the migraine of his life. But one of the main influences Hannibal escaping to Florence at the end of season 2 had on the show, besides obviously the gorgeous setting, was naturally the food, which in turn gives us a small handful of Italian recipes in our recipe book, enough for me to put together a full menu and invite my good friend Sam and his wife Kaylin over for a proper Italian dinner. And I've got my work cut out for me since my friend Sam spent a little time living in Florence and has some real-world experience with some authentic Italian food. So let's dive right into our menu. We're gonna start things off with a little bit of a showpiece in the form of the prosciutto melon peacock tail platter, a fairly straightforward design using melon slices to cut to look like peacock feathers along with papayas to make the eye of the tail. For our appetizer course, we have a classic Italian dish, Carpaccio, named after the blood-red paintings of the Renaissance-era painter Vittore Carpaccio. This dish is very thin slices of raw beef tenderloin drizzled with olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and various other toppings on warm, crusty bread. The success of this dish, as Janice points out, relies entirely on the quality of the ingredients, so I'll be going to my favorite butcher, Carnivore, to get a really nice quality cut. For our next course, we have an interesting one of Janice's variation recipes, carciofi chicken, normally made with sautéed lung and liver and special purple artichokes found in Florence. This is a much more user-friendly and easier-to-make version, baked with chicken and artichoke hearts in a lemon white wine sauce and topped with breadcrumbs served on a small leafy salad. For our main course, we actually will be working with an animal I've never worked with before, pappardelle sulle lepre, which is a thick red wine stew made with tender fall-off-the-bone rabbit and served on pappardelle noodles, which are extra wide noodles that I'm going to be making myself. After doing some calling around, I actually found that a certain Pete's Market up north carries some frozen rabbits, so I'll be heading up there when we go to Carnivore.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting weapons.
Lastly, for dessert, we have an interesting recipe with a humorous twist on it. In the book, Janice tells us that she dreaded the inevitable day when Hannibal would get caught and go to jail because, well, that's the end of the dinner parties, right? Well, even in the midst of his prison confines, the creators managed to find a way to keep this vital aspect of food in the show. Apparently, Hannibal has garnered out a pretty sweet deal for himself at the Baltimore State Mental Hospital for the Criminally Insane, as it appears one of his privileges involves some light cooking. This gave Janice a small challenge as to come up with a recipe which requires very few tools, and nothing even resembling a knife or anything Hannibal might use to be a little naughty. Thus we have our dessert for the evening, sanguinaccio dolce, which is a dark chocolate custard which uses blood as the thickening agent, which you can find at most butchers who usually carry it frozen. This recipe calls for either pig or cow, so in this case we went with cow because that's what they had.
I want to make you dessert.
And I'll be making some angel wings, which are small fried twisty cookies we'll be dipping in the chocolate. Well, that takes care of our menu, and I suspect that my guests will be sufficiently stuffed, which is a staple of any good Italian dinner party, so let's get to it. Cue the opera!
Dalla città largo la 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 presto a bottega Carpaccio presto la 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 oh che bel vivere che bel piacere per un barbiere di qualità bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo, bravo! La 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 fortunatissimo per verità, bravo! La 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 fortunatissimo per verità, fortunatissimo per verità, la 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 la. A far tutto la notte e il giorno, sempre d'intorno in giro sta. Miglior cuccagna per un barbiere, vita più nobile non si dà. La 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 la. Ratori e pettine, lancette e forbici al mio comando tutto qui sta. Lancette e forbici, ratori e pettine al mio comando tutto qui sta. Ve la risorsa poi del mestiere quella donnetta col cavaliere quella donnetta la 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 col cavaliere la 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 di qualità. Tutti mi chiedono, tutti mi vogliono, non torna ragazzi, e vengo fanciulle, con la parrucca, presso la barba, con la sanchina, presso il biglietto, tutti mi chiedono, tutti mi vogliono, tutti mi vogliono, tutti mi vogliono, con la parrucca, presso la barba, presso il biglietto, Figaro, ahimè, che furia, ahimè, che folla, uno alla volta, per carità, per carità, per carità, uno alla volta, uno alla volta, uno alla volta, per carità. Figaro, son qua. Son qua, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro su, Figaro giù, Figaro su, Figaro giù, pronto prontissimo, son quando Figaro sono in faccoto della città, della città, della città, della città, della città. Avrò Figaro bravo, bravissimo, avrò Figaro bravo, bravissimo, fortunatissimo, 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 non mancherà. La 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 bravo, bravissimo, fortunatissimo, 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 non mancherà. Solo il faccotum della città, solo il faccotum della città, della città.
So there we have it, another 2 satisfied friends. Well, I guess I should say 3, because Kaylin was actually pregnant at the time. And since this was taped so long ago, Ben is actually gonna be 3 now? But that is gonna wrap things up for this episode. So for those of you keeping score at home, that is another 6 recipes down for a total of 83 recipes completed, giving us only 54 to go. We're getting close. 10 out of 10 on all these recipes. They were all absolutely fantastic. The Carpaccio had to be my favorite. It was just to die for. And the sanguinaccio dolce was wildly interesting and bloody delicious. Wash me in your judgment. Wash me in it. Especially with those fried cookies for dipping. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There really is nothing like having friends for dinner. Friends over for dinner. You know. Good food, good vibes, good times, and a fabulous way to end an evening. Stay tuned this summer as I hope to have many delicious and exciting projects to round out our 2nd season. But for now, that is it for this episode of Hannibal and I. I'm cmarcukaitis, reminding you always to stay courteous, and I will see you in the kitchen next time.